So when does a win not really feel like a win? If you're a Bears fan, you know that feeling because you just had it today. Sure, in theory, the Bears won the game, but do you really feel like winners? The answer is no. You had to hold on to beat a previously 2-8 New York Giants team that's somewhat depleted by injuries, with a head coach on his way out and a rookie quarterback, and a clearly somewhat limited Saquon Barkley. And still, even at home, in spite of all of that, the Giants were in a position late in the game with the ball in their hands where they could have put together potentially a drive to win the game. A victory that feels as hollow as a loss does. It's exactly how you can put this. It's perfectly suited. As you think about it, this Giants team is not good. And yet, you come out of the gates, the very first thing you do, kick off out of bounds. Oh, special teams are having a whiz-banger of the day for most of the day. Then you immediately give up a first down on the first play, and you're like, oh, here we go. The Bears get the ball first on offense, and what happens? Lo and behold, what do you know? Quick 3 and out. You get Broniker wide open. Mitch actually kind of hits him in the right spot, and he drops it. Why bother? Then you're talking about 2 receivers in a similar area, maybe a throw that Mitch shouldn't make. Of course he makes it. Interception. So you lose opportunities when you're in the red zone to put up points. The Bears are really lucky in this game because if you think about it, if Rojas makes those 2 field goals, it's an entirely different ballgame. Entirely different. Entirely different. Luckily for the Bears, I guess, he didn't. But again, you're at home and you're down 7-3 at halftime. And maybe some of the players, I saw Tariq Cohen after the game was kind of crying about the fans booing. No, you know what? When you're losing at home to a 2-8 team and your offense is doing diddly squat until the very end of the first half, you deserve to be booed. If you don't want to be booed, play better, period. Like, how sad and pathetic is it that even in the second half, as this offense got a little bit of its rhythm, it got a little bit of something going, that this was what, the second game all year that they surpassed 300 total yards on offense? The second? And they played 11 games! And they've invested quite a bit on the offensive side of the ball. And their head coach is supposed to be some damn quarterback whisperer. Well, I tell you what, if he's supposed to be this offensive genius, this quarterback whisperer, the reigning NFL head coach of the year, maybe, just maybe, you should pump up the volume a little bit, Nagy! And it's like, no matter what, this team just seems to keep doing stuff to cut out its own legs from under them. You look at Allen Robinson, and you're talking about the big explosive play that was sorely lacking, 60-plus yards. And you're like, okay, that's something. And then, bam, there's an illegal use of hands to the face penalty. It just can't help themselves. Now, thankfully, they were able to overcome the constant shooting themselves in the foot, the lack of discipline, the horrible day in a lot of ways on special teams outside of Cordero Patterson, who did some good things as a gunner. Just in general, this was not a good day. And you look at this Bears team, thankfully they started to figure it out in the second half a little bit. Trubisky played just a little bit better, but still not great by any stretch of the imagination. Like, we're sitting there talking about, whether or not he played well, and he still hasn't thrown for 300 yards in a game this season. Like, that is basic stuff in today's NFL. Even mediocre and bad quarterbacks find a way to have a couple of 300-yard games here and there, and Trubisky has 0 of them. 0. Nonetheless, You did start to see something, though, as the game went along. Allen Robinson had a big day. You feel kind of bad for him because he's wasting away under this crappy play caller playing with this crappy quarterback. But he had a big day. Anthony Miller started to do some good things as the game went along. It's enough of Taylor Gabriel. He's dropped enough passes. Time to bench him. Let's get Juice Wims in there more. Let's take Riley Ridley off of the inactive list, and let's get him some dang playing time. Because your tight ends stink. Gabriel's not doing anything other than dropping key passes, which you really, really can't afford with a quarterback who already has shaky confidence as it is in Trubisky. You just can't afford that. You just can't. Perhaps the best play of the day for Trubisky was the touchdown run. He was decisive. He was confident. It's the most confident I've seen him in a single run this year. Be nice if he got that back just a little bit. Because you can't read a defense to save your life. Like even on the first drive of the game, you're trying to make an impossible throw to Robinson where if you got Broniker, the tight end is wide open right in front of you on a hook pattern for first down. But even within some of the good, then again, this team just can't seem to help but try and shoot itself in the foot. You look at what happens after the touchdown, the one touchdown. Then you get Allen Robinson called for the pick, so it wipes out Taylor Gabriel's catch for the 2-point conversion. Now all of a sudden you're talking about you got a penalty, you're going back, and now Piñeiro's got to try and make a 48-yard extra point. And we all know how that went down. And then late in the game, and get into the fourth quarter, you're up 19-7 after you forced the strip. Khalil Mack showed up, thankfully. How about that? Very nice. Like to see that a little more. You get 2 touchdowns here in the second half, and then all of a sudden, you get a 4th and 16 for the Giants, and it's a big throw down the field by Daniel Jones to Golden Tate for the touchdown. And you look at that play, what the hell was Buster Screen doing? What the hell was Eddie Jackson doing? Just ridiculous. And indicative again of the self-defeating nature of this horribly undisciplined team this year. This game should have never been like this. The Bears should have been able to use this as the ultimate fool's gold get-right type of game. The Giants are not good. Giants fans will tell you that. Hell, the Giants players know that. The Giants coaches know that. The Bears, if they're worth anything at all, should be beating them by 2 or 3 touchdowns. And yet, it took a late defensive stand, and at least the defense finally showed up late and made the stand when they had to. Big play by Leonard Floyd at the end of the game on 4th down to pressure Daniel Jones to make a bad throw. And the Bears barely squeaked by to win this game 19-14. The Bears moved to 5-6. The Giants moved to 2-9. The Bears keep whatever faint, delusional wild card hopes alive that they have, and now they get ready to roll into Detroit against a Lions team that just lost to the Redskins in D.C. this afternoon. But in all seriousness, like you look at this game, and you got Tariq Cohen, who apparently is afraid to catch the ball as a punt returner. If he doesn't want to touch the ball, then don't have him back there. And you got, even when Trubisky makes a good throw, guys are dropping it. You talk about the one touchdown throw that Trubisky had to Robinson. Even that was low and behind Robinson. He had to make a spectacular play to be able to adjust to the ball. But Broniker dropping it, Gabriel dropping it. It's just the offensive line at key times folding like a house of cards. It's one of these things where you want to be happy that the damn team won, but they looked like crap for the most part doing it. Let's be serious here. You have no reason to expect this thing to turn around or get much better, or for this team to look much better. You saw today exactly what the hell they are. A mediocre football team. And that's why they're 5-6. And that's why they struggle to beat this sorry Giants team at home Sunday afternoon. There's no joy in this victory. If anything, all it does is keep delusions alive of the playoffs for another week for Bears fans desperate for wanting more. All it does is keep delusions alive by the most delusional of sorts, up to and including in the front office and organization of the Chicago Bears, that think maybe you can still get it right with Trubisky. Newsflash, you can't. I mean, and even when you look at Nagy, some of the play calling today was really bad. You talk about specifically the way you botched the 2-point conversion, calling the timeout, and just all of this crap is just this game today, even in victory, is the perfect epitomization and personification of so many things about this 2019 Chicago Bears season that, frankly, for all of us, can't be over soon enough. We got 5 games left. Thank God.